Today, we're diving into the remarkable journey of one of the world's most influential tech companies, Sony. From its humble beginnings in post-war Japan to becoming a global titan in electronics, gaming, and entertainment, Sony's story is one of vision, innovation, and resilience. So sit back and let's explore the rise, fall, and future of this iconic brand. Let's go back to 1946, right after World War II, a time when Japan was rebuilding itself. It was in this environment that Masaru Ibuka, an engineer, and Akio Morita, a physicist, founded Tokyo Tsushin Kogyo, which would later become Sony. Ibuka had a dream to create a company that would help Japan emerge as a technological power, and Morita shared this vision, focusing on the potential of consumer electronics. Sony's first breakthrough came when they created Japan's first tape recorder, the Type G. This product wasn't an immediate success, but it marked the beginning of Sony's pursuit of innovation. The tape recorder was followed by Japan's first transistor radio, the TR-55, in 1955. This was a pivotal moment for Sony, as it marked the company's first global hit. Sony's ability to produce small, efficient, and affordable radios meant they could compete internationally. But early on, success wasn't guaranteed. The company faced numerous struggles, including financial difficulties and resistance from larger competitors. However, through persistence and ingenuity, Sony began to carve out its place in the global market. Masaru Ibuka, the co-founder of Sony, was a visionary. He believed in the power of technology to change people's lives, and he was instrumental in leading Sony through its early challenges. But Ibuka's partner, Akio Morita, was equally important to Sony's success. Morita had an unparalleled talent for marketing and understood that in the competitive tech industry, branding and global outreach were key to dominance. While Ibuka focused on technological innovations, Morita took charge of the company's global strategy, convincing the world that Sony products were worth their premium price. Sony's expansion into the United States was largely due to Morita's keen understanding of Western markets. One of the key factors in Sony's success was the company's commitment to hiring talented engineers, designers, and visionaries. The early employees at Sony were passionate, innovative, and ready to take risks. They were the backbone of Sony's creativity and technical advancements, driving the company's first global successes. Even the most successful companies face setbacks, and Sony was no exception. One of the most notable failures in Sony's history came with its first attempt at mass-producing a television. In the 1960s, Sony launched the TV-8-301, Japan's first fully transistorized TV. However, this product didn't perform well, and it took a few years for Sony to perfect their television sets. Sony also struggled with competition during the 1980s and 90s. The rise of personal computers and new gadgets meant that Sony was no longer the only player in the game. Sony's dominance in consumer electronics was challenged by companies like Microsoft, Apple, and Samsung. Sony's struggle to adapt to the digital age was another challenge. For instance, their early attempts at entering the digital music market were less successful than the competition, such as Apple's iPod. This failure in the early 2000s was a wake-up call for Sony, forcing them to rethink their digital strategy. Perhaps one of the most significant setbacks came with Sony's entry into the smartphone market. The company had some early success with the Sony Ericsson brand, but it was unable to maintain the same level of market share as Apple's iPhone or Samsung's Android devices. Despite these challenges, Sony's innovations continued to change the tech landscape. One of the most important success stories for Sony came in 1994 with the release of the PlayStation. The PlayStation was revolutionary, offering an entirely new gaming experience with its 3D graphics, CD-based games, and a huge library of titles. Sony's decision to enter the gaming console market was a game-changer, and PlayStation quickly became a household name, eventually leading to the creation of a multi-billion-dollar industry. Sony also made huge strides in the entertainment industry. In 1987, the company acquired Columbia Pictures, and by 1989, it became a major player in Hollywood. Through its acquisition of Columbia and TriStar Pictures, Sony solidified its position as a powerhouse in film and television production. In addition, the company's acquisition of major music labels like CBS Records and the creation of Sony Music positioned the company as a global leader in the music industry. On the tech front, Sony continued to innovate with products like the Walkman, the first portable cassette player, and later, the Discman. These products redefined the way people consumed music. Sony also played a significant role in the development of new television technologies, including flat-screen TVs and 4K displays, which would go on to dominate the market. By the 1990s, Sony had become a global brand. Its products were sold all over the world, and the company expanded into numerous markets beyond electronics, including film, music, and video games. Sony's impact on global trade and culture cannot be overstated. The Walkman, for example, was one of the most iconic products of the 20th century, revolutionizing personal entertainment. In terms of global trading, Sony's presence on the world stage grew exponentially. The company went public on the Tokyo Stock Exchange in 1958, and by the 1980s, it was recognized as one of Japan's most influential companies. Sony's global reach was further bolstered by partnerships and acquisitions. The company became a symbol of Japanese innovation and pride, representing Japan's emergence as an economic powerhouse. However, Sony's global reach also brought challenges. Competing with global giants like Apple, Microsoft, and Samsung required constant innovation, and the company had to adapt its strategy to maintain its competitive edge. The rise of China as a manufacturing powerhouse also meant that Sony had to navigate complex international markets and trade relations. So, what does the future hold for Sony? The company is still a major player in consumer electronics, but it's facing stiff competition in several key areas. The smartphone market, once a key battleground for Sony, is dominated by Apple and Android devices. However, Sony continues to focus on gaming, with PlayStation remaining at the forefront of the gaming industry. Sony is also investing heavily in next-generation technologies like artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and robotics. The company has a vision for the future that includes groundbreaking advancements in both entertainment and technology. Sony's commitment to sustainability, aiming for carbon neutrality by 2050, is another key part of its long-term strategy. However, Sony's future won't be without its challenges. The tech landscape is constantly evolving, and the company will need to continue innovating to stay ahead. But if history is any indication, Sony's ability to adapt and transform will ensure that it remains a key player in the world of technology and entertainment. In conclusion, Sony's journey from a small post-war company in Japan to a global technology giant is a story of innovation, vision, and resilience. Despite the struggles, Sony's ability to create groundbreaking products and expand into new industries has solidified its place in history. And as it looks to the future, Sony will continue to shape the world of technology and entertainment for years to come.